What's going on, E?
Hey Moni, how you doing?
I'm good. How was your day today?
It's been busy, but it's going good so far. How about yours?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good
So,
to hear.
yeah, it's what, 8 o'clock over there on the East Coast?
Yeah, a little after 8.
Yeah. So, what was your day like today? What did EReign do today?
Just pretty much getting more stuff ready for the future. I
Yeah.
would tell you that I would just take away from all the excitement. So
Oh, so
you
much
got a lot,
excitement.
a lot going on, a lot going on.
You have a whole lot going on, and as always, I always want to introduce you formally. So I thank you so much for coming on tonight. You are a special guest for me. You were not only my first guest when I
Yes.
had the face behind the brand, the very first show. So you dealt with all the technicalities, you dealt with everything. But today is, again, another amazing time to have you in my presence. So I welcome you to Face Behind the Brand. And we have tonight EReign, Future of New York. So
Appreciate you.
thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. So tell me, EReign, because you are doing a lot. I'll start at the top. I want to start with today. The newest release, the latest release is Ooh. That was also produced by Billionaire
Uh,
Beats.
yeah, Billionaire Beach, yep.
Yes, 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 yes. So tell me about the process because it's an amazing song.
The process.
Yes.
I mean, the process of that song, from what I remember, it was pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Once I heard the beat, it kind of just came to me. But the whole song pretty much just goes into like you putting everybody on notice. Like you're coming for what's yours,
Mm-hmm.
and and it also speaks on like you just staying on top of what you're already doing. It's like you're staying consistent.
Absolutely.
But, letting the world know like what you're doing, and that you're coming for what's yours.
Yeah.
But that's what this pretty much comes down to.
Well, weeks before that song, you put out another hit single. So you've been killing it, E. And I'm very proud of you. Always. I mean, it's
Appreciate
like
you, appreciate you.
I don't get a chance because you know me, I'm still on personality. So I like
Yeah,
everything. But it's like it takes me a while to process. I keep things on repeat for like 2 months, before I get to the next song. So prior, of course, to this last hit, you had Hear Me Out, which also was, of course, produced by Billionaire Beats. So talk about Hear Me Out. That's another amazing single that you put out several weeks ago.
appreciate you.
Mhm.
Hear Me Out pretty much just speaks on like and during your process of becoming what you're heading towards. Um, Most people are not open to hearing you or seeing your vision as you're going through the process. Most people are more likely to open up and see, what you were trying to show them or what you were trying to explain to them when you're ready, at the finish line.
Yes.
So, hear me out just pretty much speaks towards that, in the sense that, people are not always gonna, see your vision when you see it, but eventually they will. And
Hmm.
and it speaks on like even if you're not seeing it, you like I'm still gonna come and get it, and pretty
Yes.
much you're gonna see me come and get it in a sense.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Well, I like that. I like that song as well.
appreciate it.
I always go into fan mail because, of course, this is about you tonight, and of course, the listeners. One of your fans by the name of Logan, as far as for Hear Me Out, says this is a good song. This is goat-like music. Okay, so that's
Appreciate you, Logan.
amazing. Yes, yes. And then another fan, Zusi, I hope I'm saying it right, Letty. He said, amazing content as always, bro. Keep up the good work. So how does that make you feel? Because I
Appreciate
mean,
you.
you've been at this for a very long time. And let me back up because when I go into some of your discography, I go all the way back to like 2013, 2014. And
Yes,
I did that specifically for me because I like to dig deeper and find out a little bit more about you because you are an artist, but you're a lyricist.
yeah,
So I go back to 2014, even to Money Calling. So, you know, the visual from then, that time period, how would you say your music has evolved in the last 7 years?
Um, you know, I would say I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, you know, just working with people,
Yeah.
you know, in this business, you know, you're gonna learn. You're constantly learning because you're constantly like as you're evolving, you know you're going through different experiences, which you know leads you towards having a different approach and different vision towards you know heading towards the future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of the things I would say was gaining control of you know everything that I'm you know delivering to you guys.
Yeah.
Um, that plays an important role because I used to be at a point where I was allowing other people to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes when you give
You getting a call, E? You froze on us. There you go. You froze on us a little bit. Back up a little bit before you said instincts.
I was saying as far as like me taking control of you know everything that I put out there, like sticking with my instincts instead of allowing you know others to add in their input.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Talk to me more about creative control, because that's literally what you're talking about. Like you have, I guess, go more into ESM Entertainment.
Yeah, well, you speak on that year because I believe that was when I actually created ESM
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Yes.
That was that time when I was in the process of, you know, um just me controlling, you know, like literally controlling my own destiny, not
Mm-hmm.
allowing others to, you know, come in and you know, try to, you know, cloud up my vision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel like that's very important, especially when you're trying to, you know, when you're trying to build something of your own, and also when you're trying to just, you know, build longevity. Because I feel like anything we put together, we want to put something together that's actually gonna last, not something that, you know, we can create today and it's going tomorrow. Like, what's the sense of that? Um, and
Yeah.
I'm an
Yeah.
individual. I'm an individual. I'm all about giving back. So I can't. You know that for me that doesn't work. I have to work on something that I see like long term. So definitely me
Mm-hmm.
getting into that myself and looking at it from that aspect, and also knowing in order for me to keep something going that I have to be the
Mm-hmm.
one controlling controlling the situation as far as like you know what how to handle every aspect of my career.
Yeah, which is I mean, you're talking about, you know, a legacy, right? Like creating your legacy,
Yeah.
you know, something that's going to be you know, generational, you know, wealth, even not just talking about money, but yes, you know, to something that's going to be here forever and left forever to
Yeah.
come, you know. So, and I think it's important. I'm glad you're talking about it more and going in depth, because I meet so many people that don't really understand the value of independence, you know, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And one thing I like about you, E, is that you talk a lot about, you know, the value, you know, knowing your value. So kind of go more into that, because there was something that you said recently, and I, you know, I go back to the time when I first met you
Yeah.
virtually. And you didn't know this, but I hadn't been on any social media platforms for 2 years prior to COVID. You know, whether it was healing from the loss of my grandmother, and then of course hadn't done any music, you know, anything, hadn't sang at all. And so you had posted something, and I'll share it with everybody today, and you could elaborate on it too. And it was talking about knowing your value, and that's what still sticks with me. So you don't
Okay.
mind if I read it, right?
Okay. Yeah, you
Okay.
good. You good. I
Okay.
get
So it
it.
says, don't let, and I don't want to curse, but it says, it says, don't let a weak motherfucker downplay you. Basically, don't let a weak person downplay your value. You said basically to get rid of that type of spirit around you. And at that time, I was struggling with certain people, certain spirits, and a lot of them were at my workplace. So talk about how you maintain your steadfast spirit through everything that's going on and through what you're doing and putting out, which is incredible music.
That's a very good question. I mean, honestly, we all have, I believe we all have something special within us. And the moment, I feel like the moment you fully understand that, I don't think there's anything that can stop you. I mean, there's just people out there who would do whatever it takes to knock you off your game. And I feel like a big part of it is how you look at the situation. Because when people see once you have something special within you, you're always coming across people who's always telling you what you can't do.
Right.
And most of us, our first instincts is to actually get upset with that, which is cool. But I don't think a lot of us actually sit down and think about okay, why is this person attacking me?
Yeah.
Because I felt like if you really sat down and looked at why this person is actually look at you and then look at that person, and then you would truly understand your value. Because someone who knows their value does not have time to try to belittle somebody else. We all have value, but it's some of us see it and some of us don't.
Yeah.
And the people who actually sit down and actually look at the situation that's in front of them, you will see that, okay, hold up.
Yeah.
There's something special about me. This is why this person is attacking me, because this person is unfair that if I see what they see, I'm unstoppable. And others can't live with the fact they're too in tune into what you have going on that they're blinded by their own magic, but that's their own personal situation. But you as an individual that your worth, okay, from the time to time, some certain things are gonna hit you different.
Yeah.
But as long as you know there's a reason why that person tried to hit you below the belt, I don't see how you can stop.
Yeah.
If anything, it comes off as motivation, especially with the right mindset. But it really is a whole mindset thing. You really have to. It is always how you see the thing. It's always how you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you embrace it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see my cousin has joined us, Joshua Tree Foundation. Hey, cousin. She said, hey, EReign. And she said, your haters are necessary. So it's definitely true.
Monique, you was cutting in and out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I didn't hear the last thing you said. You was cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. I was saying that I see my cousin, the Joshua Tree Foundation, has joined us. She said, hey, EReign. And she said, your haters are necessary. They push you forward.
Oh, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. We need them.
Yeah.
They give us that extra push we didn't know that was in us sometimes.
Yeah.
So we definitely need them.
Well, I'm working on that, E, because we've talked about this. I just want to sing happy birthday to people, without being interrupted. I was talking to my producer today. All I want to do is just sing. I don't want to deal with the other part of it, but I know that is a big part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I commend you always, because you are an inspiration, to all of us. And one of the things I literally that I just heard, in my spirit, was you have to be the light in a dark place. If you're a light in a light place, then it makes no sense. So you have to be that shining bright person in that dark person space, and maybe it'll change them. Would you agree with that? Or am I?
I mean, you're definitely right. I would definitely agree with that. But at the same time, certain people are just stuck in their ways. They drown themselves so much in their ways that there's always a way. But if they don't have someone trying to pick them up, and often when you drown yourself so low, even the people trying to knock you down, certain people are not even that low.
Yeah.
to how low you put yourself to even help try to, you know, get you back up.
Yeah.
And the people who are trying to go up are often not, you know, that low because
Right.
you know, they're not you know, entertaining themselves with the bullshit going on that you know those people may have going on that end. But I mean, it really just comes down to a mindset.
Absolutely.
People, I feel like people who try to throw us underneath a bus, um, they're here for a reason.
Hmm.
When it comes to, you know, individuals like us that's trying to, you know, move forward in life
Yeah.
and try to, you know, become better in life, they're a part of our journey. Like
Yeah.
there's no certain people try to, you know, certain people try to escape
Hmm.
those moments, but you really
Hmm.
can't. That's a part of what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
And take you up to the next level. So I mean, I accept it all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, it's a good thing for me. I mean,
Hmm.
don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's certain things that people may come across saying because they
Hmm.
have no idea of, you know, who you are, what you're
Right.
about, your
Right.
journey, but they have ton of opinions. So it's like sometimes you could look at, you know, what some people are you know, speaking about you, and it's like this person is crazy. Like, you know, how
Yeah.
you have no idea.
Hmm.
But then again, it's like it's not up to them to understand.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
it's up to you to know who you are and to just keep whatever's going on in life, just keep moving forward. Like
Absolutely.
people are never gonna understand your journey, even if you tell them.
Hmm.
They're not gonna understand it. Like until you walk in those shoes, you can't understand that person.
Well, and it's
You
not
could
their journey, you know, it's yours.
that too,
And
that
you
too.
know, that makes a lot of sense because it's just like, well, you're not supposed to really understand. I could explain it all
Yeah,
day
but you're not.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not me. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you have so much wisdom, EReign. I think you are a very, very wise man. You're truly talented. I do want to know, what would you be doing though if you were not doing music today? What would EReign be doing?
If I wasn't doing music,
Yes.
I mean, I would definitely be involved in some type of entertainment.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's just my field.
Yeah.
Um, so I would definitely be in some type of entertainment, maybe like you know, putting like, you know, TV shows together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely clothing, which I'm working on.
Yeah.
Um,
I was going to
I
ask you about the clothing design.
I, I actually have the EReign Future New York merch on my website, ereinmusic.com. So I definitely
Okay.
have that going on. And we got a lot of, you know, other things going on with the clothing. But
Okay.
I would definitely be doing the clothing. And I would definitely be doing something where like, you know, putting some shows together, which I'm
Yeah.
actually working
Putting.
on that as well too. But we'll speak into that, you know, at another time.
Absolutely. So, what advice would you give to the generation behind you? Because we are in the middle of a shift, and we know this to
Yes.
be 2020. You know, we talked a little bit about it in our last interview, but of course, another shift has happened since then. You know, that kind of repeats itself. You talked about this also in one of your mixtapes, "My People."
Okay.
So kind of go into that with me because my people is talking about obviously my people, you know, our people. And um, right now we are in the middle of one of the biggest pandemics ever, and it's repeating itself, which is racism. So what would you tell someone who wants to still, you know, strive and do their music and, you know, in the middle of this war, in the middle of this pandemic?
I mean, I would tell the individual to number one, just stay true to who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm a big believer in that you can't lose that way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep up with trying to pretend something you're not, and you can't keep up with trying to pretend everything's okay when it's not.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like if you stick to that, and also just believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
anything possible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've been able to put out drip. You've
That's
been able to put out personality. You've been able to put out oh. a lot of songs are coming out. Hear me out. I mean, you're putting out music back to back to back in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of two pandemics. So I always go back to the whole mental health thing, because a lot of folks are literally thinking nothing is happening. I had someone tell me physically, this is not the time to do that, and I'm just like, actually, I think it is the time. So what would you say to that? I think we talked a little bit about as far as the journey, but what would you say to that? Because you've been able to accomplish a lot. And before you answer that question, I want to kind of go into even some of the mixtapes, because there's some music that we don't even know about, that you are you're putting out. I see it on YouTube, but I want you to share with us too, because there is some amazing work that you are putting out. So I want to kind of collaborate it all together, and how you're able to do it.
I mean, as far to reply towards somebody telling you this is not the perfect time, the perfect time is, in my opinion, is when you say it is. At the end of the day, tomorrow's not promised. We don't know where the next step is leading us. Or I feel like if you have and this speaks beyond music, anything that you feel like you have special in you is not supposed to stay in you. That's so it's to us to share that with others, whatever it is that may be. So for someone to tell you it's not the perfect time, it is the perfect time. Although that is entitled to their opinion, but you as the individual who's delivering your message, I feel like it's up to you to follow your instincts and understand that whatever the outsiders are saying is all about you. What do you feel is right? And if you feel like that timing is right, then that's when you should release it. For me, and as far as me dropping material, I'm just all about sharing my gift with the world. Also, and consistency is everything. People believe in what they're familiar. They're believing towards what they're familiar with seeing. So they're constantly seeing EReign delivering good content.
Yes.
In their eyes, they're looking at me, okay, he's the real deal. Instead of hearing from me now and then not hearing from me till it doesn't work that way. Like it's a relationship at the end of the day. Like if I want them to stay consistently in tune with me, I have to give that back to them with the music. And once again, I feel like any time is the best time. It's all about when you decide. And I decide to feed the world as much as I can. And that's what I plan on to continue doing.
Yes. Well, and you're doing a great job at it. Well done.
Appreciate it.
And the thing is, the engagement that you have, speaking of your fans, which are incredible fans, I have been able to even you've shared some of them with me, I should say. I mean, we have some of them online tonight, and I think it's incredible. So again, I'm always going to continue to thank you. I know it might be a lot, but that's just who I am, as an individual, because again, you took a few moments of your time, and that's part of you support wholeheartedly. And you took some time out of your day one day when I was just doing myself and you posted me singing an a cappella, and that's how this, the beginning of this friendship, had begun. And so many of your following has started to follow me and be interested in engaging. So again, it says a lot about your character as a person, as a human being. Yeah, it says a lot about you and your music too. So what are some of the risks of being a musician in the hip hop industry? What would you say some of the risks are?
I would say some of the risk is facing a lot of betrayal, because there's a lot of that goes on. I mean, the hip hop is the industry is a business, so in any business, you have to just prepare for that. Another thing is dealing with a lot of yes people. Um, I feel like, and even like in this time, like there's a lot of people who are just so quick to tell you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. And I never understood that because I feel like any situation you're involved in, I mean maybe it's just me, but I feel like any situation you're involved in, you want to, you want to make that situation last for as long as it possibly can.
Yeah.
So you as an individual being a part of something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how certain people think it's a wise idea to play yes man
Mm.
because if the situation doesn't turn out right, it affects everyone.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I feel like that's an issue. And just dealing with distractions because
Mm.
as you grow, there's a lot of you start shifting. You start to
Yeah.
see this is in people's actions. So you gotta have the people who've been around the movement and start looking at you sideways because they're not moving how you're moving. Along this, although they're still with you,
Yeah.
it's just that they're not getting that same treatment. So it kind of like certain people can't live with that. Certain people can't
Mm-mm.
around that without acting shady. And
Yeah.
then you have to deal with the people who probably want to give you a time of day. So all of a sudden, like they're all like want to know. Well, what's your favorite color? Do
Right.
you drink coffee? Eat, things like that. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just dealing with a lot. There's a lot that
Yeah.
comes with it.
Yeah.
But once it all comes down to a mindset. Like, you have to be able to catch on to, as you're moving, you got to be able to pay attention to everything else moving around you in order for you to stay consistent while moving forward and not, going towards different directions that you have no business being involved in. Just staying focused on what's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And you definitely are a believer. You talk
Yes,
yes, heavily about God, and I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, he's the biggest, he's the greatest. But it plays a key role in this business, in any business, in your life in general. And I learned that as far as with business a while ago, I want to say, because when I started including God in my business,
yeah,
it was just everything started to change. Like, I mean, whether I had the budget to do it or this the education behind me to do it, or had done my research, I was just like, well, I'm gonna invite God to work with me today. And I think when you do that too, you do it a lot. I notice, in your music, on your platform, and obviously it shows up in your daily life. And so I think for anybody, I can't say for anybody what to do and how they should with their spirituality, but I know it definitely has played a key role in what you're doing because you're continuing to rise very high.
definitely. I can't take credit for all the work that I put out. I feel like it comes from a higher source.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's that shows me the vision, and I just deliver the message.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what is one of the biggest problems that you've had to overcome? And obviously with the help of God, but what is one
Yes.
of the biggest problems that we don't know anything about that you had to truly overcome so far?
Um, like as far as like when it comes to music, or just as
It could
far as like.
be something, yeah, whatever you want to share, testimony.
Um, I would say just just letting go of the people
Mm,
who are really not beneficial towards your come up,
mm,
and sometimes those people are going to be the people that you thought were the closest to you, but you come to realize like for the people who you feel are the closest to you, they should want the best for you.
yeah,
So if their actions is not implying that, it kind of tells you what you know the relationship is like. But some of us just get so caught up in well, we've been rocking for this long or that
yeah.
long.
Mm-hmm.
We get like blinded by like, okay, we've been rocking for this long and that long, but then why this doesn't add up?
Yeah, yeah,
Because if it did, you wouldn't be questioning the situation in the first place, or wouldn't be affecting you in a negative way for you to even be having this thought process. So I would definitely say like just knowing when to just cut off. certain situations, and just understand like, okay, it's been real.
Hmm.
Um, but
Right.
it's like that though. Like
Yeah.
it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you to keep around. Like
Right.
and the it's like it's just something dragging you down.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know it doesn't belong there, but you still just keeping it. I feel like once a lot of us go through that, but it's a shift. It's a
Yeah.
shift.
Yes.
And we all go through it, and
Hmm.
we also know when it's that time
Yeah.
to let things go.
Mm. Yeah. To the power of letting go, right? I noticed that, a while ago when I was on a job for about, I'm going to say 13, 14 years, and I was in the optical industry, and it was time for me to kind of focus on this, my gift, and we have many gifts. And I just remember it being so hard for me to let go. But I was also in a state where I wanted to know what was on the other side of letting go, right? Because it's like, if you don't let go, you won't ever know what's on the other side of it,
Yeah,
and the craziest thing is this was on the other side. Like, I'm creating so much that I hadn't done. I would have never even released that single, like, during the middle of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I wouldn't have let go of what I thought was, showing me who I was, showing my value, in the workplace, so to speak. So um, that's powerful. Uh, Tell me this, My People, the song that you did on the mixtape. You have My People, you have New York Times Volume One. Talk to me more about the mixtape and the mixtapes, I should say.
like Monique, you going in and out. Can you repeat that again?
The mixtapes, My People, New York
Yeah.
Times Volume One. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
know more about your work and your process with that. I'm just discovering it all.
Okay. Um, that was just the time. Um, I just wanted to, give the people, some full projects.
Hmm.
So like I kind of just went in the lab and I just like created like mixtape after mixtape. I think I had the Future of New York. It was like 3 volumes I created.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then the last one after that I had dropped the New York Times.
Yeah.
But that I was just, speaking on like my people was pretty much talking in regards to like, what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that going on, but
It's a lot.
that was actually a fun process putting that together.
Hmm. Well, Shake 'em Up is my one. I like Shake 'em Up. I like that
Okay.
song. I like that song a lot. Well, let's talk about My People, because right now, I don't know if you saw it a few nights ago. Did you catch the debate that was on the other night?
I honestly, I try to stay away from politics.
I know. You
It,
didn't
it,
miss much, but I won't talk about it too much, because again, it's a whole different energy. But I do want to talk about the importance of, why it is important, though, for us to vote. And I'm only saying this because I had a conversation earlier in the line, and it almost got like kind of heated, talking to, and I think he was a little younger than me, and I kind of overheard him say, like, I'm not going to vote, and I know everybody has their reasons,
yeah.
but I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, in regards to that, there's gonna be a lot of people who understand why it is important to vote, and there's others who are not fond of voting.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's up to us to explain to to the ones who are not aware why it is important to vote. This is
Mm-hmm.
why we have a good amount of people saying, I'm not voting,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like people view it like, what are we voting for?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we do, there's a higher power that's always going to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so for the people who don't find it important, I feel like it's with the people with the knowledge, instead of looking at them like, oh, you're no good, because the people response would be like, okay, well, you don't care. It's not that the person doesn't care, it's just that
Mm-hmm.
the person doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
instead of judging the person, we should try to break it down to that individual. Like, why is it important? for you
Mm-hmm.
to. Why is it important for your future? Why is it important for the next generation of future to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Um, People are just tired.
I
So
know. Yeah.
people have no belief in, what's anything that's going on, because we have one of the main reasons why, like, I'm not too fond of politics is because we have so many individuals who come in and out who
Yeah.
say this is what we're going to do for the people,
Mm-hmm.
and in all reality it's never about us. It's always about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They speak, they you could be sweet talk towards people lying to you, in a sense. So it's like you're pretty much supporting the people who you think is going to change your life, but in all reality you're changing their lives,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they have no intentions of giving back the
Mm-hmm.
favor
Mm-hmm.
by you believing in them. I mean, so it's kind of like, do you actually do? Can you blame the people? You really
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with lack of information, you really can't. So I feel like we should, if for those who really truly care about people coming out there and voting, we should put something together for the people who just don't believe in the process.
Yeah.
Should give them a reason to believe in the process,
Mm-hmm.
instead of telling them the basics. You have to, because our life depends on it. No, people have been seeing nothing. We've been seeing the same thing repeating over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah. Over 400
So
years, literally.
I think at this point everybody's just like, you know what, the hell with it.
Yeah. And
I
it
mean,
doesn't
so
give us, I guess people are saying too, we don't have much of a choice this time. But, at the same time, I mean, I'm the kind of person, of course, that, I try to be logical and diplomatic about it
yeah,
all because, you know, I did watch a little bit of it. And, like I said, I'm going to leave that part of it over there. But what it makes me want to share is that, and this is what I told the gentleman today in the line, it's like, if you look at the whole Breonna Taylor case,
mhm,
that attorney general, who's kind of like not, taking the accountability, if you will, somebody voted him in, on a local level. So if we're not even just talking about voting on a congressional level today or a state level, it's like we have to get out and vote on a local level, so if you want, attorney generals and leaders to hear your voice, and see your skin color, you need to get out and vote when people are running for, those type of positions. And so that when it does come up to a level like what we're dealing with now, the election, we won't see stuff like what we saw last week when, they looked at her case and just, didn't feel that, they should press charges. It was like he didn't fight for the citizen of his town who was literally brutally murdered, and then as for voting on a congressional level, on a state level, we need to vote, because if we don't, we're not going to have health care. Obamacare will be destroyed if we don't vote. And if you take health care away in the middle of a pandemic, you're going to have more people dying. And, I'm in California right now, so I'm speaking up for California because
yeah,
California is on fire. And most of the forests that are on fire are federal forest. You know what I'm saying? So this whole climate thing that this particular leader doesn't believe is happening, it's happening. Floods are
yeah,
happening and the country is on fire. So
yeah,
it's like we need somebody else. I mean, literally, we just need somebody else, like somebody who cares. And that's where I am at with it when we say to vote. And Kedron Bryan, you remember the young man who was earlier in the middle of the pandemic, he sang that song, young black gentleman, 15 years old.
yeah,
He came up with a song, and basically he's not even able to vote, but he came up with the whole, VOTE, vet out the enemy. So his parents are probably teaching him, but at the same time, he's already understanding it because, of course, he's a young black man, and that was the song he came out with. I'm a young black man, and
yeah,
he's seeing his own color being killed already, and it's scary. The police pass by and he hides, and it just shouldn't be that way. So I say to anybody listening, that's my reason why we should vote. But and again, I won't go too heavy into it, but it just it made me a little emotional. You know, I cried because it's just like like you said, it's hurtful because we've been watching this as long as I've been alive, as long as our parents have been alive and our parents' parents.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, you know, like you said, there's levels to it.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely felt like in order for it to make a lot more sense to the individual who
Hmm.
looked at it as pointless,
Yeah.
like you know what you're speaking on, like you said, even for the locals, most people probably don't even know that they can,
Yeah.
you know. So it's all about them knowing that and
Hmm.
knowing what each role plays and
Hmm.
seeing how they can make an impact on each role. So.
Yeah.
I feel like once the people, and it's funny because that's kind of being brought to light now. So more
Yeah.
people are actually, you know, understanding the process. But who knew the process years back? It
Yeah.
was the same. It's the same process.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you know, it had to come to this for people to start actually looking at the situation as a whole. Well, you know, we can control this if we, you know, vote the proper people in.
Yeah.
Um, and even now with now with it being brought to light, now you have a big majority of people who just don't care at this point
Yeah.
because they're so used to what they've already been seeing. So it's
Hmm.
like now we need to, you know, put that more to light. Like this is why this is important. This is
Yeah.
why we need to look for this person, that person, because they're gonna fix the problems that we've been having that you guys are kind of like, you know, feeling hopeless from. Now, if you bring in the right people, then now we can have some type of hope.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So we just need more individuals bringing, you know, the details to light.
Yeah. And to communicate more about it. And even like this, I mean, even on a live, you know, or you know, during our performances
Yeah,
you know, things like that. Because what I'm starting to see now, and I hate to say it, but more of my people, our people, Black people, you know, encouraging people not to vote, you know, and that's very concerning to me. It's like, I understand, yes, we've all been waiting 400 years, you know, for reparations, but, you know, we know the reparations are not going to come in the next 35 days. And, you know, unless
yeah,
God, of course, yes, God could come tomorrow and make a shift. But just,
yeah,
you know, politically speaking, you know, let's be, you know, wise here is what I'm saying. And like, I don't want to encourage anybody not to, you know, because I just don't, I think we kind of should just go with our interest at this point. Like, who do you think would be the best at this point, you know, going forward? And then let's go from there, you know.
yeah.
So other than that, you do a lot with music, and I know this, we all know this, you're consistent. What do you do outside of music?
I think you had asked me that before. I mean, I'm pretty much boring when it comes outside. Like I'm just
Are
always
you?
like working.
Okay.
If I'm not like doing music, I'm probably like trying to get some type of rest.
Okay.
Um, pretty much. Yeah, I don't really do much other
Well, I
than
know you
music.
have your beautiful animals. You got Luna and is it Luna and Lucky?
Yeah, Luna, Lucky, and Leo.
Okay, so you have them. They keep you busy.
Yeah, yeah, they keep me busy.
That's good. Well, I'm not going to hold you too much longer. If you could say one last thing to your fans and leave us with a message, what would it be?
I appreciate you guys for supporting me. Uh, Stay tuned for new music on the way, and with everything going on, just you know, just hold on to faith. And just
Mhm.
know better things coming.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the build up is one day at a time. So we just gotta, you know, just keep thinking for better days, and you know, better days will soon arrive. But we can't focus on what's not going right
Mm.
of the day because it doesn't help the situation. So to stay positive, as hard as it is nowadays with everything going on, and it's like it seems like there's a lot going on lately, and it's
Yeah.
coming like force all at once. Um, I mean, sometimes it's a good thing. To you know, a lot of us are comfortable when
Yeah.
we speak. So, you know, when things like this go on, it kind of like, you know, shifts our vision towards, you know, what it actually should be. So
Hmm.
try to look at it from you know, a different, you know, different perspective instead
Yeah.
of focusing on, like I said, what's not going right. And Monique, as always, I appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you, King.
And
Mr.
I'm looking
Grind More, Shine More.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of your greatness because you've been doing a dope job, you know, with all these artists coming on the stage and just staying consistent with the face of the brand.
Yes, well, thank you too, because you've been doing a wonderful job. Also, you've referred so many people to me. I saw Fabian 305 on here tonight.
Shout out to him too.
Shout out to Fabian 305, Contraband Beats. You know, I mean, it's just it's been amazing, and of course that has gone into some of their people and their friends as well. So Juche Signature has come on. I mean, so it's just been amazing. So I appreciate you sharing again your platform with me. And as always,
Anytime.
I appreciate you.
Anytime, anytime. You just keep
Okay,
doing what you're doing over there, Queen.
I will. You too, King. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
Okay, peace.